$8,000.
Well, that's what he put there. So
I'm sorry that I wrote it wrong. I apologize.
all right.
Amazing.
So the first questions are, you can go individually. So what was your personal journey? Please explain what made you choose this career, and like what was your who or what was your motivation?
Okay.
So either
So
you guys can start.
I can go first. My personal journey started when I was 9. I remember being away at camp, and I know they don't do that anymore. And we had to write letters to our parents, which they don't do anymore. And when I graduated nursing school, my mom gave me the letter that I had written to her at 9, expressing that I wanted to become a nurse. And that's pretty much how it started. And I'm still on that journey. The reason why I chose this career was to educate my community and my family about healthcare and illnesses, which I'm still doing. My motivation every day is the children that I work with, the children and the adults that I work with. That is my motivation, is to educate people about their healthcare, about taking care of yourself, being up to date with what's going on with your healthcare, and more importantly, being a part of your healthcare, not just sitting in the doctor's office and letting the doctor tell you what to do. You are the biggest player in your healthcare. So that's my motivation every day.
Okay. It's my turn. Same way. I enjoyed cooking and started cooking when I was young. Didn't take it seriously the way that I do now, but I've always loved doing it. Like just the pure joy of seeing people enjoy something that you make when they eat it. So that for me is the main reason why I always cook. Now, as far as me taking it as seriously as I do now, I have to credit that to my wife. She made me take it serious. And from then on, this is just what I want to do. I've always loved it. I have fun doing it, even when it's a lot of work. Just like to cook.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
You have something else to add?
No.
All right. So we're gonna move on to the next question. So sorry. So I'm gonna have Jonathan, because I know you have to head out in a minute. You can read one of the questions here.
With college hard, what was your experience in school?
I can't see the question.
You might have to switch your phone screen since you're on your phone to see the screen that I'm sharing.
You talking about the what's college hard part?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. What's college hard? What was your experience in school?
Was college hard? For me, no, because I was pre-med first. So nursing school wasn't hard for me, especially the theory part. It was the clinical part where you actually had to take care of people in the very beginning, because nursing is part theory and then it's clinical. So theory is everything you learn, the chemistry, the biology, the anatomy and physiology, the medical terminology. That's all theory. The experience is the clinical part where you actually go out into the field, designated fields, to put your theory, basically put your money where your mouth is. And school wasn't hard, the theory part, but the experience of going through clinical was hard, because in my mind I was like, wow, it's really becoming real now. Does it answer your question?
Yes, it does.
And was this job my first choice? Absolutely. Not so much where I'm at now, but nursing was my first choice. It is my passion. It's always going to be my first love. I
So
love what I do.
What was your first? So, you can be in a lot of different places when it comes to nursing. So right now you're doing pediatric nursing.
Yes.
Was that your first choice? If it wasn't, how did you come to be where you are?
Pediatrics was my never choice. Never wanted to be a peds nurse. I'm so serious. When they told me, Miss Reed, you're being assigned to pediatrics, that was in 1980 something, I literally cried because peds not only involves children, peds is from
Parents.
yes. That's right, Nick. Peds is from 0 to 20, 0 months. So that means a couple of days, newborn to the age of 21. They've now extended it to, I think, 24. So that's the whole spectrum. And you have parents that you have to communicate with. And that has always been my struggle because, yeah, adults are something else. If you have a mom and you're a teenager, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So anyway, peds wasn't my first. ER nursing was my first. I went to peds inpatient. I worked at North Central Bronx for 10 years. And then I switched over to emergency, which is trauma, which I also love. I am a frontline nurse for life. Give me the blood, guts, and the glory. I'll do that any day. But peds is my love, as what has become what I love. Do I regret any decision? Come in. I'm actually at work. What's up?
We have a student, he fell. He has like a little scratch
Okay.
on his knee, so I give him an ice pack, put him on first aid. But I had the trainer tell him that you need to disinfect it. I'm like, he's not a nurse. I'll tell the nurse so she'll know what to do.
Okay, I'll be out there in a minute. See, it never ends. Trauma. That's what I do. Um, anyway, do I regret any decision? No, I don't regret anything. Do you regret any decisions you get to it? No.
So are you planning on making a change from where you are right now?
Oh, absolutely. I'm in school now to get my master's. I'm going to become an epidemiologist. And that is somebody who studies diseases and the effects on the community. So hopefully within the next 5 years, I'll be Dr. Sonia Reed.
Ooh.
There's always one person, many dreams. Don't ever let anybody tell you what you can't do. Your dreams change, your goals change as you get older, but you have to be proactive. You have to make things happen. You can't just sit there and say, oh, I want to do this. I have dreams of doing this, and not be active in what you do. You got to show up for life. Show up in your own life. Don't let anybody push any negative scenarios about what you can't do. You can do, if you can see it and believe it, then you can absolutely become what you dream about. Any other questions?
Yeah, but not right now. So Franz, I want you to answer these questions first.
So while he's going to do that, I'm going to check this kid.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I didn't go to college, but I went to culinary school. The experience that I got from culinary school was a lot different than what I expected. The experience that I got basically just showed me the base of what I already knew how to do, which was cook. And to me, cooking is more of a reflection of you versus what anybody can teach you. Now you can be taught, the way to cut certain things, what seasonings to use, what flavors, but ultimately cooking is a reflection of your personality. So me being in school, it taught me the base, and after that, I just I did what I needed to do with it the way I wanted to. Was this job your first choice?
Yeah, because right now you are working at a college. So is this something that was your first choice? If it isn't, what is? And do you plan on making the switch?
No, this wasn't my first choice at first. I wanted to be an architect. But because I like to draw. But
Wow.
yeah, but this is what I want to do. Cooking is what I want to do. I love doing it. And like I said, even when it's a lot of work, it doesn't always seem like work because I like to do it that much. And the only regrets that I have is just not pursuing this a lot sooner.
Mm.
That's it. I probably would have been a whole lot further along in what I know and what I'm capable of doing had I pursued it a lot sooner than now.
And so, are you planning on making a switch out of working at the college? Or is that something where you see yourself being for a while?
Eventually I will leave out the college, but when leaving, hopefully it will be for me leaving for my own business and not to go work somewhere else. So that's what the ultimate goal is, for me to work for myself, doing this cooking thing. People gotta eat.
Yeah. I think you mentioned something that was very important when you said that school gives you the basics, but it doesn't give you like the personality. Like what you put in cooking is something that is a reflection of yourself. And I think that is a good point as far as life in general, because honestly, you can be in school for years on end, you can learn all the things that you need to learn, but like Ms. Reed was saying, if without that practice and actually putting the theory to use, or putting your own flair and bringing out your own personality and your own self in any job that you do is something. So at any career that you guys pick, even if it's not the two that are presented today or throughout this month, just keep in mind that you bring your whatever you do is a reflection of yourself. And so make sure whatever you're doing, regardless if it's something that you want to do for the rest of your life or you're doing right now, that you're putting your best self out there into the universe, because you're definitely going to reap the benefits when you do those things.
Make sure you enjoy it. Make sure
Yeah.
you truly enjoy it. Don't do it just because it pays big dollars. Do it because you enjoy it. Because when you're doing something that you enjoy, it's never work. It's never work. But if you're doing it because, you're getting a whole bunch of money, there's going to be times where you don't want to do it. So try to find something that you enjoy doing and just be the best at it.
So Rita, I want you to read the two questions that's that's up here now.
Okay. Is this a typical occupation in your family? And how many years did you do in college to become a nurse?
So these are specific questions for Ms. Reed, but Franz, if you want to answer the first question as well, you can. You can just jump in. But Ms. Reed, I put you on mute because you walked away. I didn't know if it was going to be background noise. So
The part is this a typical occupation for your family? Yeah.
Ms. Reed, unmute yourself.
Yes, it is.
So
yes. I've had both of my uncles were chefs at some point in time in their life. One of my uncles was in the service, in the military, he was a chef there. My other uncle, he was also a chef. Yeah, I think I got that from them. Now my grandmother, she always cooked great. There's things that I've learned and picked up along the way from family and close people that are close to me. But I would say that it's a typical occupation for the family.
Ms. Reed, you gotta unmute yourself. There you go.
Funny they should ask that question because my grandmother was actually she was unlicensed and uncertified because they weren't allowed to go to school. I'm telling my age. It's a long line of nursing in my family. My grandmother delivered babies. She was from Saluda, South Carolina. So if there was any issues with pregnant women, they would go to my grandmother. My mother's sister is a retired registered nurse and she lives in Wisconsin. My godmother was a nurse. So I guess, yeah, I got bit by the nurse bug early just from being around them.
That's dope. And then the second question, how many years did you do in school to become a nurse?
4 years. 4 years.
Back in
You
school
can
now.
actually, anybody that's interested, it can take 10 months, only 10 months to get your LPN license. You can become well, now New York State has changed the guidelines because they want all registered nurses to have their BSN. But when I came up in nursing school, you can do a 12-month program to get your associates and become an RN. And I used to go back and talk to the alum at Helene Full, but now you have to have your bachelor's.
Okay.
Or you can't work in a hospital. But I'm done with working in a hospital. I'm doing other things. And don't look at the timeline. What I noticed, is that people always count the time.
They're afraid.
Don't worry about,
Like, I want to be in school for all them years.
right. Don't do that because you're defeating yourself and you're defeating your purpose. If that's what if that's the career path you have chosen, then by all means, put your all into it. Attack it, because I'm going to tell you, you will always, nursing will always be around. Just like needing a doctor, needing a nurse. And nursing is not just in a health institution. It is in your community, in your family. And I tell you how many people have called me, or I had somebody call me and then, oh, somebody has a question. And, oh, I have somebody, I've gotten calls from out of the country, from people that I know that want to ask me questions. So once you're a nurse, you're always a nurse. That is a title that you will have. It's not just, okay, on the weekend, I'm putting it down. I'm not a nurse on the weekend. You absolutely are. Wherever you go, that is the title. And you will get a reminder, because I don't know how many times I have performed CPR or jumped in to help outside of my neighborhood, outside of the state. So nursing is a rewarding profession for me. And nursing called me, I didn't call nursing. Because every time I tried to walk away from it, this is right where you need to be, come back here. So nursing will always be my first love.
I think one of the reasons why this question came up in the students is because I've been in this school for a lot of years now, and a lot of people who I see say they want to be a nurse. Is usually because the family, everybody I know in my family is a nurse, and it's kind of just like expected of them to become a nurse. Whether that is something that they want to do or not, or like a doctor or a lawyer, things that are typical in their family, people tend to gravitate towards, just because that's something that it's just a part of the family. But I think Franz also said it too. Just make sure that what you're doing, you love it, because at the end of the
Absolutely.
day, it doesn't matter how many years you're in school for. If you don't love it, it won't feel, like it's worth it. If you're
And
how many years does it take, and how much do I have to do, and how many tests, and all that stuff, that then it might not be for you, because when it comes to something that you're passionate in, whatever you have to do, whatever steps you have to take to get to that goal, it should be worth it. It should just be a part of your experience. And of course, you learn through everything. And so, it's a journey. Whether it's longer or shorter, the journey is a learning journey. And you meet people along the way, and you learn different experiences that will enhance your experience when you actually be a part of the career that you want to be in. So,
you're absolutely right. If you don't love it, it's not going to be rewarding. And you know how many nurses during this pandemic, I'm not even going to tell you how many nurses walked away from the job and said they can't do this.
Yeah,
This is my second
it's
go round.
it's not a that's not an easy job. You have to have a certain level of patience and love. Really gotta
Absolutely.
love doing that, because at times it does get stressful. And no, there's been no point in time where it's been more stressful than this past year for y'all. So I get that.
Yeah.
You gotta really love what you do, because there's gonna be times where it seems like it's a lot, but when you love it, it's not. It's like, all right, I'm gonna get
Absolutely.
through this. I'm gonna figure out how to do this. We're gonna get through this, ladies, or we're gonna get through with this team. But when you don't have that type of love for it, it's like, oh, here we go. I didn't want to show up here today.
Absolutely.
So here's some specific questions for you, Franz. But again, Miss Reed, if you feel any, you can just jump into the questions. So I think Brian. Yeah, Brian, go ahead and read those questions for me, please.
I got you.
Thank you.
How did you know this is what you wanted to do? How was this pain? How was the pain starting off? How do you feel like it was
I feel like it was worth it.
worth
Yeah,
it?
worth it.
Uh,
It's covering it, but yeah. The first one we kind of answered already, but as far as pay.
How was the pay was it started off? It wasn't the best, but when you starting from the beginning, you got to work your way up. But it has paid off in the years that have passed. It's definitely gotten better, and in the position where I'm at now, I make a good amount of money, and because of where I'm at, I can go somewhere else and make more than what I'm making now. So it's worked itself out in a good way. Do I feel like it was worth it? Yes, I definitely feel like it was worth it.
Absolutely.
It has it opened my eyes to a bunch of different things, and then it's so many different avenues that I can go down with this cooking thing. So I'm doing one thing, but I can do so many different things within me cooking, and that's what I like about it. So yes, it was worth it.
Excellent. You want me to answer that pay starting off question? How was the pay starting off? Woo! I remember when I first became a nurse, I think I was making 23,000. That was 30 years ago. Now, coming out of school, you can start anywhere from 65 to 80,000. But here's what I tell all my nurses that I speak with. If you're in it for the money, you won't last. You definitely will not last. Care how much I know nurses that are making six figures and they're miserable. And as a matter of fact, like I shared with Miss Nikki, I worked the Javits Center vaccinating the month of March. They were paying us $75 an hour, 12-hour shift. Do the math. So 3 days I was good, right? But here's the thing: we got nurses in there that they had to let go of because they didn't know what they were doing. And never will I allow anybody to work on any patient in my presence and you don't know what you're doing. You gotta go. You gotta go. I'm not here for that. I love my people. I love my community. That's why I'm still here. I can definitely go out of state or go into another community and make twice as what I'm making. But that's not why I was called to nursing. So that's why I'm still here. And it is absolutely worth it. For me personally, it's absolutely worth it.
That's dope.
Can I add on to that question?
Yes, go ahead.
So do you think the pay like matters if you're like enjoying the career?
Not for me. I mean, it does matter because, in a sense, it does because you got bills to pay. Money makes this world go round, as you can see. Yeah, it matters because I'm in a community where people have lost their jobs. They're behind on their rent. They're receiving unemployment that is not feeding their family. So yes, money does matter. And I just thank God I have the opportunity to have a consistent salary and a consistent job. But I didn't come into this for the money. I came in to educate my community and my family. That is my whole premise of being a nurse. And you can ask anybody that has, even the cook that's on the phone, that's on Zoom. Before he was even born, I knew him. And that 6 degrees of separation, he is engrafted into my family. His cousins are my nephews. So I know him very well. And his food is amazing. So yeah, just it's so worth it. I mean, your reward, you don't always look at money when you are passionate about something, because there's a saying, your gifts will make room for you. So
Yep.
if you are passionate about something, trust me, it's a hard road at times, and you may feel like giving up, but don't, because the reward is coming. Don't get hell bent on salary and money, because listen, hard work doesn't make you successful. You could work 40 years, 50 years. What is success to you? Hard work. I know people that have retired and are doing what is success? So everybody's definition of success is different. How much you want to make, never put a cap on the money that you make.
Yeah.
Never put a cap. Don't look at it, I'm a nurse and I'm making 90,000 a year, I'm good. No. The reward of working, of living your passion supersedes money.
Yep.
Yeah. And it may be something hard for y'all to grasp right now, but
Right.
it does. It is like that. Because you chasing the money, and you can chase it forever.
Sure enough.
Chase that money forever. And it's gonna be here now, and it's gonna be here when you go.
Right.
That peace of mind of doing something that you love. And like Miss Reed was saying,
you could call me auntie.
like auntie was saying, she did in her profession, she can be doing things making twice as much more money. So there's always avenues within the lane that you're in where you can make money or make more money. Just like as far as with me, I work at Columbia University. I make good money there, but if I want to, I can leave there and do something that's mine and make more money. But I wouldn't be doing that because of the money. I would be doing it because I want to work for myself. And I would like to make up my own rules and things as far as when I'm cooking in for my restaurant or my food truck or whatever. So that would be the reason for me stepping out of working at the job where I'm at. Not because I'm hard pressed and I really want more money. Everybody wants money. I want to live a nice way and I want to have nice things, but for what I'm doing as far as my career, I'm going to do what's making me happy as far as that.
And it's a scary thing to step out on your own anyway. Like, yes, the perspective is, you get to do your own thing, get to make up their own rules. You probably make more money because it's not a set salary, but you also have that security of having someone that's, the things that if something goes wrong, it falls over someone who's above you. Like there's a union, there's people that's behind that has, if things happen, you have that stability. If you have a bad year, like that's on you. It's not, if
Absolutely.
you don't have a lot of students, you still get paid,
Yeah.
So it again, it's just about following your passion and what makes you happy. So we're gonna move on to the next couple of questions. So these are just a couple of things that I want the students to consider when they're thinking about their career, whether it's nursing, being a doctor, working in construction. These are some things that I want them to consider when they're thinking about where they want to be for the rest of their life. So for your specific roles, what are 2 soft skills and 2 hard skills that you need for your career? When I say hard skills, I mean something technical, like Ms. Reed, I know you mentioned the being a registered nurse and things like that. An example of a soft skill can be being patient, being kind and loving to your patients. So what are 2 hard skills and 2 soft skills for both of you guys' careers?
Well, I'll say
they should know.
two hard skills, but it's not really hard, but just listen and pay attention. If you listen and pay attention, you'll be good to go. Because if in my profession, if you trying to excel, you have to listen and pay attention because it's a fast-moving career, and if you don't know what you're doing in certain situations, you can get hurt. And I'm pretty sure, just like in Auntie's career, like she said, she doesn't want anybody around her that doesn't know what they're doing. When you're cooking for 1,500 kids in a matter of 5 to 6 hours, and you're cooking 26 things, you need everybody in your team to know what they're doing, and they need to pay attention. So if you can't pay attention and listen, then you're gonna have a lot of problems doing what I'm doing. Probably doing anything that most people are doing.
A hard skill for in nursing is asking for help. And I think that's just life in itself. Even as students, I'm going to say this to you guys. Never be afraid to ask for help. We don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. Never think that, one of my professors used to say, there's no question that's stupid. If you don't know something, ask, especially in nursing, because once you make an error, you can't take it back. So in life itself, if you need help, ask. Like if you're lost on the street, I know everybody has GPS trackers and all of that, but if you're lost, what does it take to say, excuse me, can you direct me? Or I know it's hard to even approach people now in this era of social media and internet, but never be afraid to ask for help. And also the other hard skill, what Fawn said, you gotta listen. And what I noticed, people listen to respond. They don't listen to hear what you have to say. Enhance your listening skills. When somebody's talking, let them talk. Let the information resonate. There's a difference between hearing and listening. Listening requires your brain to be active. When you hear, that's just going into the auditory canal. That's like hearing a fire truck or a police car, you know, to move out the way. But to listen, you have to focus in. So those are my two hard skills.
So we're gonna skip the salary one because we've already covered that question. So with both of you guys' jobs, it is a lot about time management. So I want you guys to explain, how do you manage your time, especially between like personal and work, like separating the the two from, you know, I'm at work, this is work time and this is personal time. How do you manage your time at work, and then how do you
manage time? What's that?
Right.
Well,
What's
personal? What? I'm off the clock?
Yeah, exactly.
well, at the job, I was very bad at first with managing my time. And like I said, we had a certain amount of things that we have to cook in a certain amount of time. And because I wasn't paying attention at first and listening, and like you said, not just hearing, but listening, it didn't allow me to manage my time better. So I was always late with something, or pushing it, or just making it, just getting it upstairs on time or a little bit after. But learning, after being told and learning how to, you have to, with cooking, you know, I know that if I put this water on, it'll take 5 minutes for it to start boiling. Well, don't stand there and wait for it to boil. Go and do something else. Come back in 5 minutes. So I had to learn how to do that. And it helped me out so much, because things that were taking me an hour and a half to do, I was done an hour before I needed it to be done.
Time management.
Yes.
One thing is for certain: when you work, time is of the essence. And people are watching you. That's just like when I give medication, it's about timing. This person needs that dose every 3 times a day or every 12 hours. Timing. Personal time from job time, I had to learn that, especially when I became a mom. I was doing 50 million things at one time, and it just wasn't working. It took a toll on me. So you have to be able to manage your time correctly. And one thing, managing time is different. Make sure you don't waste time. Don't waste time sitting there knowing that you have something to do. I'll do it later. Do it now. If you have something to do, be like Nike and just do it. Don't waste time, because whatever grade you are in now, you're going to look up and say, oh my God, didn't I just graduate high school 2 years ago, 4 years ago? Time moves quickly. Once you are in your 20s, you're going to sneeze and you're going to be 35. Literally.
Yeah.
So manage your time. Time management is of the essence. It's an excellent tool to learn, and don't waste time. If you have 15 minutes, find something to do. Set your studying habits. I'm going to study from this time to this time, even if you have to use a timer. And that's what I do now, because I'm back in school, and I literally have to use a timer to manage my time, because I know I need 8 hours of sleep or I'm no good in the morning. And especially if I have to work a 12-hour shift, which I have been doing. So managing time is very important. But don't waste time. Is that next question for me, Nick?
Yeah, I want to talk about the finding a job in the field. Is it easy? Is it hard? What, like, you know, what does it look like out there?
Nursing, they listen here. I got offered a job out of the country.
These days, nurses, they need everybody.
Nurses,
On deck.
yeah, we are right now. We're needed, and they realize our importance once this pandemic hit. And like I said, if you don't, you have to love what you do. I cannot express that, because if not, you end up killing people. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're not focused and you're more concerned about the money, you'll end up making mistakes. And yes, we learn from our mistakes, but you accidentally give the wrong medication to kill somebody. What are you going to say to their family? I'm sorry. So yes, our field is wide open. Girl, if I could tell you how many emails I get a day for jobs, but I'm right where I'm supposed to be. So right now it's not a hard thing for nurses to find a job, especially through agencies. But it's hard for them to get into the hospital, because if you don't have the experience, like you said, there's many facets of nursing. There's pediatrics, there's med surg, there's psych nursing, there's trauma nursing, there's ICU, there's cardiac care, it's forensic nursing. So you have to put your sweat in to get in. So yes, my field is wide open. Anybody else?
Oh, yes. Definitely now more than ever. Everybody's cooking. Everybody is food everywhere. So this field is definitely open. Open private. The private sector is open, working for somebody. Like you can do so many things when it comes to this food thing. It's just really based on you and your creativity and how bad you really want it. But
Absolutely.
This is definitely not a hard field to get involved in. It may take you some time to get to where you want to be, but that's because you got to learn a lot of different things. But it's very open.
And I'm just gonna ask one more question, because I think we covered pretty much all the rest of them. The last question is, what are some obstacles that you had to overcome to get where you guys are at? What are some that were in your way, or something that you had to overcome to really be in a good place where you are now?
Can I go first with this?
Absolutely.
In all honesty, my biggest obstacle when it came to this was just me. It was me. I don't feel that there's anything when it comes to cooking that I can't do, or I can't learn or be taught. So yeah, my biggest obstacle was myself. Trusting in myself, believing in myself, knowing that I could do it. And yeah, that was my biggest obstacle, because I accomplished certain things with this that I didn't think prior that I could. Whether it be me running a whole kitchen or me cooking for a certain amount of people, like there was times that I doubted myself and didn't think that I could do it. Not that I couldn't cook, but that I couldn't do certain things within this field. And I did it better than what I thought I did, and did it better than what most people thought I would. So you just gotta believe in yourself, and don't doubt yourself, even when stuff is not going right. If this is what you want to do, whatever it is, just keep pushing with it. You got enough people out there that are doubting you, and enough things that are gonna go wrong that you're gonna have to fight through. Don't let one of those things be yourself.
Well,
That's it.
You want me to answer that?
yes, troublemaker.
Yes.
Woo! Still facing obstacles till this day. Biggest obstacle was first myself. Like my nephew said, believing in yourself, knowing that you are well able. Biggest obstacle now is uh, dealing with disparities, and that's big. And being a Black woman
Mm.
in this profession, uh, yeah, I've been through some things and still dealing with the disparities of my people, Black and brown. And it's disheartening at times. It can make you want to say, you know what? I ain't got time for this. I've had enough and walk away. But I'm in the fight for the long haul. And so I know there's some Black and brown children on this line. And I'm
Yep.
going to tell you this. Do what your heart desire and do it to the best of your ability. And never let anybody tell you that you're not smart enough, you're not worthy. Don't ever let anybody tell you that. And I'm going to tell you this, if your dreams don't scare you, then your dreams are not big enough.
Yep.
If
Woo.
you are not, oh, I'm afraid to do that, or no, can I do that? If your dreams don't scare you, then your dreams are not big enough. Dream big, super big. I don't care if you are failing right now, if you're a C student, a B student, a A student, don't worry about them letters. They don't make you. That's not what makes you. It's what you are passionate about and what you are willing to do. And everything is a sacrifice. You have to sacrifice sacrifice of time and of yourself, but it will be worth it in the long run. And I know you're going to hear this, then it's going to be worth it. Put in the hard work, it's going to be worth it. But never let anybody, especially in this day and era, and I know you guys see a lot of what's going on with just all this social stuff with Black Lives Matter. And I don't even have to tell you because it's in the news, it's been in the news. And yeah, it's traumatic. It's traumatic for me. So I know it's traumatic for you. We shouldn't even be going through this. I remember when I was younger than you guys and people were getting killed. Black people. So we must be some kind of damn dynamic if they want to keep killing us. So don't let anybody stop. Anybody. I don't care who it is. If you have a dream, and sometimes you can't share your dreams with people. You can't. Write your dreams down, keep them close to your heart. And even if you have to put it on the mirror and look at it every day, it will become a reality. Get that picture in your mind. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an entrepreneur, whatever it is. Don't let anybody tell you what you can't do, because you absolutely can. You look at all of those that didn't go to college. I'm not just talking about your rappers and producers. And they're sitting pretty somewhere. And it's not even about the money. And they have realized that. It's about who you are as a person and what you have to bring to this world, because everybody's born with a purpose and you're born with gifts inside of you. It's up to you to realize that I do have dreams, and it's up to you to activate them. So dream big, people. You too, Nick.
I'm dreaming. I'm telling you. I
Make
got
it a
a
reality.
poster board right here
That's
of all the things I gotta do.
You should have them do a vision board
I should.
before they graduate. Have them do a vision board. Any other questions?
Anybody else have any questions? Any of the students that's online?
I want to add on, but I don't want to get too deep into it, right?
Listen, do what you want to do. Say what you gotta say. Because we're all here to learn from each other. So.
Exactly.
So you made it sound so easy about chasing your dreams, you know, all that, right? But we don't all have that support, you know. Some of us don't have that, like, that support from each other, or that motivation to keep going.
But here's
Well,
what I'm gonna say to you. Find your community of support. It may sound easy to us because we sat in your seats.
Yeah, I
couldn't
want
see
to say
myself
that.
to this point.
I want to say that it wasn't easy.
Was it?
We talking about it, but it wasn't easy, and it's not easy even as we still progress in it. It's not easy, but what may make it feel easy, or you're able to cope or deal with it, is because this is what I want to do. I'm pretty sure that all of y'all have, at some point in time in your life, have been told something that y'all couldn't do, but y'all really wanted to do it, and y'all still did it. That's all it is. Think of something that you have really wanted to do in life, and you did it. I don't care if it was to go hang out with your friends, or to go to this party, or to go do something. You decided that this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it, no matter what comes my way. So
Said
that's what it really
no,
is.
that you can't go or
Yeah.
you can't do it. You still did it. There's some of y'all who, listen, one of the students on here is a graduate of our school, and she had a long journey, and she ended up doing it, and she's been doing amazing, and I'm so excited for her, and I can't wait to see what she does in her future. But I'm here right now working as a person at this school, a support system, and even I'm not where I expect myself to be. And like everyone is saying, like, I think Ms. Reed said a good thing that I also have been learning, throughout these couple of years, is that sometimes people are just not going to get your dreams. Regardless of how supportive people are, sometimes their limit of where they think us as a community should be. Oh, you sure you could do that? I don't know if you could do that, because they don't even think that they can do it themselves. And so sometimes your biggest supporter, they might support you, but it always might be a limit, right? They may not understand it how you understand it. They might not see it how you see it. But as long as you see it and you're going for it, you make it happen. And then in return, show them that, dang, they just did that, and I didn't think that they would do that. Maybe there's something in myself that I've been looking at or been deferring that I want to do. Maybe now I feel like I have the motivation from you, watching you do what you wanted to do, regardless of who said yes or no. And now I feel motivated to then go on and do the same thing. And I'm saying that because personally, I have been the person that I was looking at my friends or family members like, you want to do what? Okay, girl, do what you got to do. But as I'm watching them, progress and do the things that they love, and they are enjoying it regardless of all the struggles. Because when you're connected with someone, you see all the ins and outs, right? You see the struggles, you're like, it's worth it. They doing a lot of different things, and people keep saying no, and they not getting the job, and they're unemployed for years on end, and then they come out on top, and they come out happier than they ever been before. And it gives me that extra spark in myself to be like, listen, they've done all these things. They've covered all the boundaries. Everybody who said no, they said yes, and they made it happen. I can make it happen. So never doubt yourself, because you don't know who's watching you. That's another thing. Some people watching you just to see what you're going to do, to be like, okay, well, maybe I could do that. Your future children, if you have children, cousins, sisters, brothers, siblings, everybody. So
I'm going to say to that young man about support, sometimes you got to walk alone. And you may not have any support for now, but trust me, you will get some. If you don't have any support right now, just keep doing what you're doing. It's not easy, but you got to keep going. And you will find somebody to support you. And don't be afraid to ask, I need some support concerning whatever it is. Come in. Yes. Never be afraid. But sometimes your journey is your journey. And one thing with nursing that is still, it bothers me. There's a saying in nursing that we eat our young. That means that when we get new nurses, we treat them like crap. And I had that experience, and I was by myself, and I swore if I got through this, I would never, ever treat a nurse the way I was treated. And it has come to pass. I have trained this year 8 nurses who are out in the field working during this pandemic. And they've all, you end up critique. They ask you to, can you be critiqued? They want to fill out a survey. And I've had nothing but positive comments. So to that young man, if you don't have any support, just keep going. You will find support. And don't be afraid to ask somebody. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Could you, I have some things that are on my mind or whatever. Don't be afraid. Find somebody. Somebody will support you.
Yes.
Any other questions?
And people like seeing success. Some people they don't see the success until it happens, and then they jump on the bandwagon. Like, oh,
that's the truth.
let me come over there. People you don't even know, people you never even expected to support you, be right behind you the whole step of the way. So, yeah.
Just keep going and chase your dreams and make sure you catch them. Anybody else with any questions?
Questions, comments?
We said we gave you enough of our time.
Okay, guys. So I have both of their email addresses, and they will definitely, if you have any other questions, or even if you want to chit chat about something that wasn't mentioned, or you want to talk to them on the side without everybody else, you will have their emails. It'll be posted on Google Classroom. I believe next week I'm gonna post it with the video as well. So if you want to look back at the video, if you came a little late and you missed a few questions, it'll be there for you as well.
What grade is this?
It's a mixture. I think some of them are, there's a graduate, there's a 12th grade, right? Rita's about to graduate.
Woo, get ready, you 12th graders.
Abigail and Brian are both in the 10th grade, but the way our school works, you could be in the 10th grade, but in credit wise, you might be closer to graduation. So it's all a big mix up, but.
Be encouraged, young people. Be encouraged, be encouraged. Be encouraged.
Thank you so much for joining us, everybody, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.